Tejosi tejomayi dhehi viryamasi viryangmayi dhehi balamasi balangmayi dhehi ojosi ojomayi dhehi manurasi manumayi dhehi sahosi sahomayi dhehi vishwani deva savitar duritani parasubham yad bhadram tanasubham om shanti shanti shanti. From the White Yajurveda. O Lord, thou art the embodiment of infinite energy. Do thou fill me with energy. Thou art the embodiment of infinite virility. Do thou endow me with virility. Thou art the embodiment of infinite strength. Do thou bestow strength upon me. Thou art the embodiment of infinite power. Do thou grant power unto me. Thou art the embodiment of infinite courage. Do thou inspire me with courage. Thou art the embodiment of fortitude. Do thou steer me with fortitude. O Lord, O thou the illuminator, do thou free us from ignorance. Do thou bring to us what is auspicious. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace be unto all. This morning our subject is pitfalls in spiritual life. We are observing Swami Brahmanda's birthday anniversary service. His exact birthday will be coming Friday, 19th. Spiritual life, which is very, very important topic. We should build our spiritual life as we build a high-rise building. First, we make a plan. Then the architect submits that plan to the city for approval. The city approves it. Then we raise money. Then we engage a contractor. And the contractor engages construction workers and the supervisors. They come with big bulldozers, they dig the ground very deep. Then they put concrete at the bottom, heavy concrete. Over that, they start to build the columns with concrete and iron rod. Then perhaps multi-storage building will come on those columns. And we see the huge building. The same way, our spiritual life should have some columns. Patanjali, the father of yoga psychology, mentioned 10 virtues, 10 spiritual values which are indispensable for our spiritual life. First, yama. Ahimsa saityastyo brahmacharya aparigraha iti yamaha. Ahimsa, non-violence. Saitya, truthfulness. Astya, non-stealing, non-covetousness. Brahmacharya, continence. And non-receiving gifts means so that you will not have to sell your freedom to others. Those are the 5 virtues. Then niyama, shaucha, santosha, tapa, swadhyaya, ishvara pranidhanani. These are the 5 more disciplines. Shaucha, purity, cleanliness. Santosha, contentment. Tapa, austerity. Swadhyaya, studying the scriptures, spiritual books. Ishvara pranidhanani, devotion to God. These 5 virtues. So total these 10 virtues are essential for spiritual edifice or a spiritual building. These basic rules of conduct are universal, are not limited by any race, country or time, says Patanjali. Now we have a very clear picture that how we should start our spiritual life. This is not in Hinduism or any religion. We find the same thing in other religions. In Judaism, Moses' 10 commandments: do not kill, do not lie, do not commit adultery. 10 commandments of Moses, they're universal. Same way we find 9 beatitudes of Jesus. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Blessed are the pure. Blessed are the peacemakers. We find those virtues are also universal. Then we find in Buddhism 10 shilas, dasha shil. Then we find in Islam also there are 5 prayers, and they have also many disciplines. So those things are very, very vital, important in spiritual life. Spiritual life does not change the physical body. You will get same 2 hands, 2 feet, 2 ears, 2 eyes, 1 head. We cannot expect 4 eyes, 4 heads, 4 hands, 4 legs. It will be difficult. There is a famous saying of Buddhism: being nobody, going nowhere. Before God realization, chopping wood, carrying water. After God realization, chopping wood, carrying water. No change. Change. We want change. The change comes from inside. Our inner nature changes. Human beings have 3 natures: animal nature, human nature, divine nature. So through evolutionary process, we develop human nature from animal nature and divine nature from human nature. That is the way we find change. Sometimes we see human beings just like God. Sometimes we see human beings worse than animal. Where is the change? Where does the change come? It comes from within. I remember one devotee came to Sharadananda and asked, Maharaj, I do not find change. I want to change my spiritual life. Then Swami made a remark: do you like to have 4 hands? Then it would be very difficult for you to sleep. Change. I was reading a funny cartoon of global Vedanta. A man came to his guru and bowed down. "O Guru, I have been practicing spiritual life for 12 years and I achieved only long hair, long beard and long nail. What shall I do next?" The Guru said, "Write your autobiography." Very funny. I remember when I was in Hollywood, an actress came and said, "Swami, I am coming to Vedanta for the last 7 years, but I do not see any change." Then I said, "I don't believe it. You do not see any change. Last 7 years you were coming to Vedanta. Please think when you first came and how you are now. You do not see any change inside." Then she said, "Swami, I was a wild woman in New York, but now I see a lot of change inside me. I come down." You see, that is the way Vedantic process goes. Unperceptibly, your inner being will change. like the gentle dew in autumn. It nourishes the trees, plants, fruits, flowers, and then when the sun rises, it evaporates. That is the way Vedantic teachings work, very slowly, imperceptibly. It is a long process and a long journey. Practice what your guru said, practice rituals, worship, study regularly, spiritual books, practice your japa and meditation. You will see the change will come. What does it change? As I said, inner being, character. Everything depends on the character. We remember when we were young boys, we used to memorize English proverbs. Money is lost, nothing is lost. Health is lost, something is lost. Character is lost, everything is lost. Character. Watch your thoughts, they become words. Watch your words, they become action. Watch your action, they will become habits. Watch your habits, they will form character. Watch your character, and it will develop your destiny. That is the way it goes. It is a long journey. Spiritual journey, it is a journey toward the infinite. Swami Vivekananda defined character. Whatever you do, whatever you think, they leave some impressions in the mind. Those impressions form habit, and habit forms character. If you do 80 good thoughts, if you think 80 good thoughts, do 80 good deeds, day in, day out, within 3 months you will see your life has been changed. It's bound to change. Everything comes through the character. An immoral person can be a great orator, can be a great professor, teacher, but he cannot be a spiritual teacher. If you want to be a spiritual teacher and guru, you need pure character. Otherwise you cannot transmit power. Let me elaborate a little how the spiritual life begins. After suffering from worldly life, people become disgusted and they turn their minds toward God. Suffering, disease, betrayal, help. They are angels unawares. They turn our minds toward God. It is extremely very difficult for the rich people to turn their minds to God. They have big egos and they think money can buy everything. No way. Sometimes we see some people, as the Upanishad says, Ashishto, Dodishto, Bolishto, Medhavi. You see a young man, very disciplined, physically strong, mentally strong, good intellect, very unselfish, pure, and that person wants to realize God. That means that person finished his karma in previous life. Otherwise, mind will not go toward God. If you have intense desire for enjoyment, it is very, very difficult to turn the mind to God. But sometimes God's grace dawns a soul and turns toward God. Grace is there. Transformation, how does it come? Patanjali says, yoga chitta vritti nirodha. Controlling the thought waves of the mind is called yoga. Look how it works. We are constantly thinking. And the thought waves are coming just like EKG. You see the graph, how heartbeat goes up, down, up, down, up, down. So human beings, the thoughts are rising on the on the surface of the mind like this. Vritti, thought wave, we call it vritti. That vritti, the moment a thought comes, and then next thought comes, don't think that thought disappeared. The thought goes instantly in the bottom of the mind. That is called chitta, memory. Just like your computer. You type it, immediately it goes to the hard drive. Save it, it goes to the hard drive. Exactly the way mind works. Vritti brings smriti, memory. Thought wave goes to the memory. Thought waves, memory. Please watch those memories. Vritti, every moment is changing. And below is the smriti. Mind is just like a paraffin. A big slab of paraffin, hard, then you melt it. Then how do you make the candles? If you put red color or yellow color or green color, candles will come same color. So mind is just like a paraffin. It gives heat. The moment it gives heat, when mind melts, the spiritual mind, it goes toward God. And when it becomes hard, do you know what does it do? It has a positive side and a negative side. It is a very interesting subject. Negative side, harden it. Positive side, melts it. It melts toward God, but it hardens toward the world, so that mind will not go down to the plane. It will go the higher plane. That is called a spiritual life. Struggle, struggle, struggle. How to keep the mind above the sense plane, spiritual plane. We live in three planes: physical plane, intellectual plane, spiritual plane. If you live all the time physical plane, you will be bored. All the time intellectual plane also you will be bored. So for that reason we fluctuate. Eat, sleep, all these things. Then intellectual plane, culture, these, there is study. Then comes the spiritual plane. Try to move all the three planes. Stay minimum time in the physical plane. Then you will enjoy life. I'm just telling you how the spiritual life works and how it is important and vital to us. Patanjali is mentioned in the Yoga Sutra, and Vyasa wrote the commentary. Chitta nadi ubhayo to bahini, bahoti kalyanayo, bahoti akalyanayo, papaya cha. Chitta, the mind, is a river. It flows to opposite direction. It flows towards good and towards evil. Positive, negative. What does it do? The positive, the moment it goes positive side, viveka srot khili kriyate, udghatyate. Viveka srot, the current of discrimination opens. And the other one, the current of enjoyment stops by renunciation. So it opens through discrimination process. The current of discrimination opens, and the current of worldliness stops by renunciation. So abhyas, practice opens the upward movement, and non-attachment renunciation stops the downward movement. Look, how do you drive your car? You are driving car, you have two pedals, one is for movement forward, another is stop. Positive, negative. If the red light comes, immediately you put the brake. And the moment the red light is gone, you press it, your gas or accelerator, the car moves. Same thing about the spiritual life. It must move forward. And when danger comes, give a break. No. How long shall we practice? Patanjali says, Satu dirghakala, noirantarjino, tatkaro sevito dira bhumi. Dirghakal, long time, noirantarjino, uninterruptedly, you will have to practice. It depends upon your sincerity. If you are very sincere, you can make progress very quickly. Next question, who takes away your mind from God, from spiritual life? Ramakrishna mentioned in the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna again and again, Kamini Kanchani, Maya, lust and greed, lust and gold. These are the two great obstacles in spiritual life. Kamini Kanchana. This whole world is moving toward Kamini Kanchana. Lust and money, money and lust. The whole world is moving. In the Vedanta, in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad says, Lokoishana, Putrishana, Vitrishana, Sarveva Ishana Bhavata. These three desires are controlling this whole universe. Desire for name and fame, desire for money, and desire for progeny, children, sex. These are the three desires controlling this whole universe. Amazing. All these human beings, everybody you see, moving for these three desires. You know how thousands of years ago these teachers of Vedanta found out the whole spectrum of human life. Sri Ramakrishna said, if there is any fiber in your thread, it will never go to the eye of a needle. You take the thread, take a little moisture or water, squeeze it. When it is one-pointed, then it will go through the eye of a needle. If you have worldly desires, that mind will not go to God. But what we want both. We want world, we want God. We want hot ice cream. Samadhi and sex, both. Tulsidas says, Diva Rajani Nahi Aktham. Day and night never stay together. Where there is day, there is no night, right? Night. Where there is darkness, there is no light. Light. They both cannot stay together. And Jesus said, ye cannot worship God and Mammon at the same time. In the third chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna told Arjuna, look, you are thinking the Kauravas are your real enemies. They are not the real enemies. Your real enemy, Kamaesha, Krodesha, Rajoguna, Samudbhava, Mahasano, Mahapapma, Vidhinam, Iho Vairinam. That's Kamaesha, Krodesha. Kam, lust, and anger. These are the two terrible enemies. Destroy them mercilessly. They are obstructing your growth, your journey. How these things covers our mind? Do you know how does it cover? Krishna mentioned. As smoke covers the fire, as dust covered the mirror, as the embryo is covered by the womb covers the embryo. So this human mind is covered by this desire, lust. What does it do? In the beginning it will reduce, it will put a little mist over your mind and make you confused. Lust does that. It will blind you. Second, it will destroy your pratibha, your intelligence. Third, it will completely cover you and make you complete blind. Then you jump, and then, oh my goodness. You fall into a ditch, and then you see, oh my goodness, I fell so down. That is the way it works. Sri Ramakrishna went to see Fort William. Do you know where is Fort William? It is in Calcutta under the Maidan. The British people made that fort. Upstairs, upper, you will find beautiful green lawn. 3 stories below that ground, a new city. That is the headquarters of the Eastern Command of the military in India, in the Fort William. There, Sri Ramakrishna went with a horse carriage, which is a slope. Then he was looking upon, my goodness, I came underground, I see 3-story buildings. He says, Kolombada Rasta. Kolombada means the spiritual life is a slope. It will not let you know that where he was taking you. Then when you go down, then you become conscious. My goodness, where am I? It's amazing how it works. Why can't we make progress in spiritual life? Find out yourself. You know where is the problem. Everybody knows. We know our weaknesses, we know our shortcomings. You don't need anybody to tell you where is wrong in you. Duryodhana said to Krishna, I know what dharma, virtue is, but I have no desire to practice it. I know what adharma, evil, this bad thing is, but I cannot stop doing it. I do it. So Lord, sitting in my heart, you guide me. We cannot make progress. We are attached to our body, mind, family, relatives. Nongor fele dartana. That is a beautiful saying Sri Ramakrishna said. 10 friends went to drink in a tavern the other side of the river. They went to a tavern, they were all drunk, came to the boat, and they want to come back to their home, they are rowing the boat. Whole night they did it. They are all drunk. Early in the morning they found, when the drunkenness was gone, they found the boat was there, the other side of the river. Why? They forgot to lift the anchor. So all Sri Ramakrishna says, all these human beings are rowing the boat, want to move toward God, but they're anchored with worldly attachment. Very difficult. Sri Ramakrishna told many funny stories. Even the monks have problem. But there was a monk who used to live in a small hut near the village, and he used to put his copy in lion cloth, and the rats would tear that copy, rat and mouse. Then he asked, they went to the villagers, they said that we cannot give you cloth every time, why don't you keep a cat? So he got a cat. Then cat needs some milk, so he was started to borrow milk from the villagers. And they said, we cannot give you milk every day, why don't you keep a cow? So he got a cow. And the cow needs fodder, so what to do? The villager said, you have the ground around your hut, grow some fodder and some crop so that you will not have to beg. So he did it. So he became a big householder. And then one day Guru came and said, my son, what happened to you? Ek kopin kaste. Everything has started with a kopin, a lion cloth. So see this. Sri Ramakrishna told how the monks even get caught by Maya. Maya. Shh. Amazing. I remember when I joined the monastery, an old monk gave me a beautiful advice. Don't keep any connection with your family. Otherwise, you will be like you put 2 legs on 2 boats, monastery and the family. You will never make any progress. They will come, they will release their suffering, pain, their things that will affect your meditation. Then he gave a beautiful example. Here are 2 ponds near the river. One is close to the river, another is a little distance. Same depth. During summer, both ponds dried up. One was so dry, cracked, and another was muddy and soggy. He told me, your mind should be in that distant place, would be cracked with renunciation. Only you will think only about God. He gave a beautiful advice. Then another monk, I remember, gave me a camera. I was working for the photo department. Then after 3 days, he said, you return the camera to me. Uncle, I did not ask, you gave me, and why are you taking it back? I was thinking about your spiritual life. This camera is a very expensive hobby. We did not have any money. You have no money. What will you do? You will go and beg money from the devotees, and hey, could you give me some money? Could you give me some money? I have camera, I bought film, I want to make pictures and this and that. I shall make you a beggar from the very beginning of your life and depend on the devotees. I do not want you to be like that. He took away my camera. I said, Maharaj, you saved me. You see, these sadhus are very thoughtful. They think about our spiritual growth. I am very grateful to those monks, those who trained me. Sri Ramakrishna said, in the very beginning of spiritual life, you need a fence. If you put a small sapling on the sidewalk, if you do not put a fence, then while the cows and the goats will eat that slab with that plant. But when that plant is grown up and becomes a tree, you can tie an elephant with that tree. It will never be affected. Same thing, in the beginning of the spiritual life, you need a fence. Children, they should be protected. Nurse the baby, protect the child, free the adult. I sometimes tell them that, 1 to 12, mother, 13 to 19, father. They will have to train these children. Extremely important. The Upanishads and the Gita and other scriptures caution us regarding the pitfalls of spiritual life. The scriptures are like our parents. Nabirato dusharita na santo na samaito na santo manasopi pragyane noinamapnuyat. Yama, the god of death, was telling Nachiketa, listen about his spiritual life. First, dusharitat. Your character must be good. Then, na santu. Your senses should be controlled. Your mind should settle on God. And then, stop restlessness. That restless condition of the mind comes from the desires. Stop it. Listen. Pragyane noinamna apnuyat. Only through mental intelligence you will not attain God. Disciplines are very, very important. Moreover, spiritual life is a journey, as I said. That verse also Swami Vivekananda quite often quoted. Uttishtita jagrata prapavaran nibhautata kshurasya dhara nishita durataya durgam patastat kavayu vadanti. Uttishtita, arise, awake, and just stop not till the goal is reached. Arise from ignorance. Awake from this sleep of laziness and move forward. Kshurasya dhara nishita durataya. The poets, the sages say, the path is so slippery, as if you are walking on the sharp edge of a razor. Any moment you can get caught. So, be very careful. I read a funny story of a Himalayan monk. I read that book. An old woman used to give some milk to this monk who used to live in a cave, in a cottage. That woman who died, she started to send her little granddaughter, teenage girl, to the monk, and monk took that milk, her service. And later on that old lady died, and this girl grew up, and the villagers were disturbing her. So she came to the monk for help. The monk went to the village and tried to tell the people, do not disturb this girl. Anyhow, then that girl moved to the monastery, and then his affection caught him by Maya, and then they started to live together. He was telling that how monastic life becomes very slippery. Krishna also mentioned in the Gita, in the second chapter of the Gita, 7 steps of degradation. Listen. Dhayato vishayan pungshaha sange steshu pajayate sangat sanjayate kamo kamat krodha vijayate krodat bhavati sangmoha sangmohat smriti vibhrama smriti bhrangshat buddhinashat pranashyati. These two verses, I think chapters 262-63, they are so important to all of us, those who practice spiritual discipline. They will remind you where you are and what direction you are going. If you think about sense objects, you will develop attachment. Attachment will bring lust. If somebody stops your lust, you become angry. The moment you are angry, you become confused. When you become confused, you cannot make any decision. And if you cannot make any decision, that will bring degradation. Perhaps I am so angry at you, I took a gun and just shoot you. I killed you. Then, without thinking that I will be in jail whole life or I will be also hanged. Complete forgetfulness of this power of discrimination. Buddhinashat pranashyati. Completely destruction. Shankara also encouraged you of discrimination, mentioned another beautiful verse. Lakshat chitam chet yadi chittam ishad bohirmukham sannipatet tatastataha pramadata prachyuta keli konduka sopana panktu yatha tatha. When you are on the 4th floor of your house, if a tennis ball drops from your hand, what will happen? It will drop top over the steps. It will not stop until it goes to the basement. Your ball dropped from your hand. It will go to the basement. So what happens? The moment it drops, you jump and catch it, so that it may not go farther down. Same thing, spiritual life. The moment you see there is some mistake, I am going downward, immediately give 2 feet, give the brake. I won't go. At that time, seek the help of the Guru. God, pray, meditate. Leave that place. There are many ways we can face those kinds of problems. Or if ordinary people fall, doesn't matter. But if a great monk or a great spiritual leader or a great politician or somebody has any moral lapses, bas. His life is doomed forever. It is just like you went to the Mount Everest, 29,000 feet and fell, bas. Your life is over. Same thing in spiritual life. I remember another monk gave me a good lesson. I said, Maharaj, I am today's holiday. It was Sanjay. I went to the monastery, another headquarters in Belur. He said, holiday? Holiday? In monastery, in spiritual life, holiday? There is no moral holiday. Your one moment's mistake can destroy your whole 30 years of spiritual life. One moment's mistake. There is no moral holiday. But I sometimes say spiritual life, it is a battlefield. In the battlefield, all soldiers do not survive. Some die. So some yogis also fall. And the fallen yogis are our great teachers. Don't follow me, you will fall. That fallen yogi is telling us, don't follow me, you will fall. Be careful. Look what I was and what I am now. I remember in Seattle, I read in the paper, when the young kids learn driving, they bring a man with wheelchair. He comes and gives a talk. Look, I was also young like you. I am a careless driver. I hit somebody and now I am completely disabled, handicapped. I cannot move without wheelchair. My life is doomed forever. So, young kids, drive carefully. I am the example. See my life. So sometimes this happens. We need some people who can remind us so that we may not fall. Spiritual life develops spiritual ego. Sometimes we think, oh, because ochre cloth, I am more spiritual than you, which is foolishness. Look, God realization does not depend upon the cloth, color of the cloth. God realization depends on your purity of heart, your sincerity, your devotion. Once a man was giving a lecture that Sri Ramakrishna came for the householders, monks already renounced, so they do not need Sri Ramakrishna's help. He gave a long lecture. So one monk got up and said, Sri Ramakrishna did not come neither for the monks nor for the householders. He came for those who want God sincerely. God's realization does not depend upon cloth. When I read Nagmasha's life, was a householder. He surpassed even the monks by renunciation. What a great life. I remember once in Vedanta class, one of my chief or principal Swami told me, you are a householder. I told him, no, I am a monk. No, you are a householder. I told him, no, I am a monk. Then he explained, do you know who is the householder? You think the person who has wife and children, he is a householder. That is not the real definition of the householder. Householder means grihastha. Griho means house. Stha means dweller. The dweller of the house. Whether you dwell in your body or not, your body is your house. He is a real grihastha. Do you live in the body or in the Atman? If you live in the body, you are a grihastha. Don't think those who have wife, children, and husbands, and they are householders. Not necessarily. He gave a beautiful talk about householders. Pride. Sometimes one young monk said to, I think, Holy Mother or Gulapma, oh, I have no lust. Please don't say that, don't say that. It may come at any moment. Never say that I conquered lust. There is a beautiful story. Vyasa has 4 disciples, Poil, Jaimini, Vaishampan, Sumanta. He taught 4 Vedas to his 4 disciples. So Jaimini was very proud that I have conquered lust. So Vyasa cautioned him, don't be proud, my disciple. So one day Vyasa came, the Jaimini was in his ashrama, and Vyasa came, and in the guise of a beautiful young woman. Then said, tonight, could I stay in this place? I lost my way in this forest. Please allow me to stay in your place. I am very helpless. So Jaimini said, all right. He showed a cottage and said, please stay in this room, but never open the door. Because it is a jungle, never open the door, always lock inside. So at night time, Jaimini was thinking about that woman. He went and banged on the door. The door was not open. Then he became so excited, he went to the roof and broke the thatched hut and jumped inside and found that his guru with beard, Basha, was meditating. Then he was humbled. Did I not tell you, don't be proud of your purity? Never. Pitfalls in a spiritual life. Ego. One rich young boy came to the Guru and Guru said, I want to be a disciple. Really? Sarva Sangha Parityajam. You give up whatever you have. So he gave up his home, family, every home, and came to the monastery. Again Guru said, give up. I have nothing, I gave up everything. But I have my clothes and I have a water jar. So he gave up those things. Again Guru says, give up. Then he was thinking, I have nothing, still he is telling me give up. Then he was thinking, what shall I do? Then he set fire. And he was, at night, he was about to jump into the fire thinking that I have this body, I shall destroy it. Then Guru came, what are you doing? Well, you asked me to give up, I gave up everything, only I have my body and now I want to give up my body. Then Guru said, no, that body does not belong to you. Your body belongs to your parents. Your parents made that body. They are the owner of that body. Then Guru, what shall I give up? Ego. That is yours. In spiritual life, this ego is the number one enemy. I am beautiful, I am learned, I am rich. All these stupid egos are rising inside. And that is bondage. I and my. Some people start spiritual life with great enthusiasm. If they don't get result quickly, they stop. I have seen many people come, take initiation, then go away. That is the reason Swami Brahmanda used to give some preliminary instructions and they said, go. He used to wait 4 or 5 years. Then sometimes he said, perhaps I harassed too much. But he wanted to test the genuineness, sincerity of the disciple. One day he said, one disciple, follow what I said for 3-4 years. And if you do not go get the result, come and slap on my face. Challenge. Spiritual life will work. Patience and perseverance are very, very important in spiritual life. If you plant a tree, if you put a plant under the ground and every day if you lift that how much it has grown, it will never grow. Let it settle there. Let it be there. Then the roots will go below and hold the ground, then it will survive. It will grow. Amazing. Patience, necessary. Some receive the spiritual instruction but don't practice. They blame their guru. Swami Bigyanananda used to give initiation and said, I shall initiate you on condition. What is the condition? You promise that you will never write me a letter. Some people always complain and blame the guru. They have no love, no respect, disobedient, and only blame the guru. Guru is bad, I am good. Sometimes in a spiritual life, comfort, luxury, ruin spiritual life. Chaitanya was in Puri. One of his disciples, Jagodananda, brought some perfume oil so that for rubbing his body. Immediately he said, no, perfume oil, go to Jagannath, Krishna. people will think that I am a householder monk, getting the fragrance from my body. No, no, no. Jagadananda chayamai bishwai bunjaite. Do you know what did he say? Sannasir alpa chidra sarva loke gaye, shukla vastre moshi bindu joiche na lukaye. A sannyasi, a monks, small things are very visible. If it's a dazzling white cloth, if there is a one drop of ink, that ink is visible. People do not see the whiteness, only they see that small ink drop. Similarly, a monk's life should be transparent, pure. You know, that is how they guard their spiritual life. Do you know why? Because they are the role model. If the role model is bad, everything will be bad. If one car is defective, the role model car is defective, all cars will be defective. That is the way spiritual life works. That is the reason it is extremely difficult to become a guru, teacher, role model. You will have to demonstrate. Obstructions. Then in Nirvikalpa Samadhi there are 4 obstructions. Laya, sleep, distraction. Then a condition comes, mind neither goes up nor goes down. It is a frozen mind. And another is rasasad. They get some taste in a spiritual life. A little taste also is an obstacle because it is relative, it will come and go. Until you reach the highest, the absolute, you must continue your journey. In Patanjali also mentioned 9 obstacles in his spiritual life. Sickness, laziness, doubt, lack of enthusiasm, sloth, craving for sense pleasure, false perception, despair, unsteadiness. These are the obstacles. In spiritual life, food is also plays an important role. What you eat. In that respect, Krishna's teaching is very beautiful. Eat moderately, sleep moderately, work moderately. Then this yoga will remove all of your sufferings. That is a beautiful verse. Chapter 6, verse 17. This is similar to the middle path of Buddha. Be moderate. Do you know what is that moderate Buddha mentioned? It is an instrument, sitar. If you make too tight, you will not get the right sound. If it is too loose, you will not get the right sound. You will have to tune just right so that you get the right sound. That is called moderation. Not over, under, no under. Just middle. Some people eat too much, no control over the tongue. That is the reason Bhagavatam says, Jitam rasam jite sarve. Those who have controlled the tongue, they have controlled other sense organs. Now, one of the greatest pitfalls of a spiritual life is a smartphone. iPad, iPod, iPhone. Why? It takes away your mind from God with outgoing tendencies. I see some young boys, girls, men, women. In the plane, I see everybody has iPhone or smartphone except myself. It is a wonderful technology, a great help, a great thing. But some people, day and night, I see sometimes jogging, talking, walking and jogging with cell phone. Too much is not good. Use it when it is necessary, not all the time texting. I saw the cartoon, a wife took the smartphone from the husband's hand and threw away. Look at me. You are looking only on the cell phone. Swami Prabhupada in Hollywood. He never allowed television in the monastery. In our monastery, no television. Or Chetananandaji's beautiful slogan, God vision and television never go together. We are observing Swami Brahmanda's birthday. I shall read a little small passage from his teachings. Swami Brahmananda. In the beginning of spiritual life, it is very important to establish a routine with fixed hours for japam, repetition of the mantra, meditation and study. Whether you like it or not, it doesn't matter. You must follow the routine. Have a firm resolution about it. If you continue your routine strictly for some days, a habit will be formed. Now you may not like to practice meditation, but later it will be painful to miss it. When such a stage is attained, it means that you are slowly progressing toward the ideal. Know that you are nearing God when you feel as restless for His vision as a hungry and exhausted man for food and sleep. First get a taste of divine nectar and become immortal. Then come what may. Whether you are cast into the street or placed on a throne, both will seem the same to you. When iron is turned into gold by the touch of the philosopher's stone, it doesn't matter whether it is kept in a safe or buried in the ground. The master used to say, place the knowledge of non-dual Brahman in your pocket and then act as you please. In other words, after attaining knowledge and devotion and realizing God, whatever work you do will not bind you. There will be no more chance of taking a false step. The spiritual path is full of obstacles. The Divine Mother does not easily release human beings from the bonds of her Maya. To obtain her grace, one should cry and pray. You have accumulated many samskaras in past lives, and you are acquiring new ones in this present life. All through your life, you will have to fight against those samskaras. The more you resist them, the more they will strike back. Never yield to them or deviate from your goal. March on, and you will win. This is a beautiful book I translated, A Guide to Spiritual Life. Beautiful. If you really want to understand the spiritual life, please read this book. Thank you. Matma me shuddhantam jyotiraham virajabi papma bhuyasam. Antaratma me shuddhantam jyotiraham virajabi papma bhuyasam. Paramatma me shuddhantam jyotiraham virajabi papma bhuyasam. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May my body become pure. May I be free from impurities and ignorance. May I realize myself as the light divine. May my mind become pure. May I be free from impurities and ignorance. May I realize myself as the light divine. May my soul become pure. May I be free from impurities and ignorance. May I realize myself as the light divine. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Peace, peace, peace be to all.